Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Rekha Chabra, your maths teacher. Students, please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel, Learn Mathematics. And I would request you all to please keep watching these videos and keep practicing questions side by side. Students, we have covered almost all the topics and subtopics of chapter 4, determinants. And if you missed any of the video, any of the topic, then please go back to my YouTube channel and watch that video. Now going forward, I will discuss few questions of miscellaneous exercise in this video. Let's take question number 2. Without expanding the determinant, we have to prove these two determinants are equal. So let's take left hand side and multiplying and dividing by ABC. That's what we every time have to decide that what should be done so that we proceed in a right direction. So multiplying and dividing by ABC, multiplying and dividing. Then let's take this ABC inside. Let's multiply row 1 with A, row 2 with B and row 3 with C. And then after that we can see that we are getting ABC in the entire column 3. Taking ABC common from C3, we will left with 1, 1, 1. This ABC and ABC will be cancelled. And then interchanging C1 with C3 because we need all these three columns but it is not in the right sequence. So C1 changes to C3 and we know this is one of the properties that when any two rows or any two columns interchange, then sign of the determinants get changed. So it will be minus 1 now and C1 and C3 will be swapped. Again interchanging C2 and C3 and one more minus will come outside. Minus 1 into minus 1 will be plus and this is the thing that we wanted on the right side. So it is proved. Question number 6. Here also we have to prove this thing is equal to 4a square b square c square. So from this we can conclude one thing that at some point of time surely we have to expand the determinant. So again taking left hand side, a square can be written as a into a, b c can be written as b into c, and here we can take c common and it will be a plus c. Basically what are we trying to do? We want to take a common from column 1, b common from column 2 and c common from column 3. After taking common, we will get this thing. Now applying the operation, C1 changes to C1 plus C2 plus C3, adding all the elements of C2 and C3 in C1. We'll get 2a plus 2c, 2a plus 2b, 2b plus 2c, taking 2 common from column 1. After that, we are having 2abc outside, but what we need 4a square b square c square. So again we have to apply some operations. C3 changes to C3 minus C1. From column 3 we will subtract the elements of column 1. We'll get 0 minus b and minus b. Again C2 changes to C2 minus C1. If you want you can apply both the operations in one go. C2 minus C1, from here when we will subtract we'll get minus a and 0. Now we can take minus a common from C2 and minus b common from C3. So minus a into minus b into 2abc, it will be 2a square b square c, and then we have to expand this determinant along any row or any column because at least we are getting two zeros. So let's expand here along first row. After expanding 2a square b square c into 2c, here a c plus c is 2c and a minus a will be cancelled, and after opening this 4a square b square and c into c, c square. That's what we wanted. It was there on the right hand side, so it is proved. Next, question number 7. If A inverse is this and B matrix is this, we have to find AB whole inverse. We know one formula, one property, AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. A inverse is already given in the question, so we have to concentrate on B inverse. Calculating B inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant B into adjoint B. This will only exist when determinant B is not equal to 0. We'll calculate determinant B. It is 1, which is not equal to 0, so it means inverse exists. Then we need adjoint B. Adjoint B is the transpose of cofactor matrix. Then we'll calculate all the minors. Then all the cofactors and then we'll input the value in this matrix. This is adjoint B ready. Now B inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant B into adjoint B. Putting all these values, this is B inverse. Now we need AB whole inverse. This is equal to B inverse into A inverse. So B inverse is this matrix, A inverse already given in the question, and we will multiply. After simplifying, this is the answer, which is equal to AB whole inverse. Students, I would request you that you know all these basic calculations, this multiplication, addition and all. So please don't copy from the video. Wherever you are confused or wherever you see there is something new, then only pause the video and note down the steps. Otherwise, please do this calculation yourself. Question number 11, using properties, again we have to prove this. So taking left hand side, applying C1 changes to C1 plus C3. We are adding column 1 and column 3 in column 1, and here we are getting alpha plus beta plus gamma in all the elements of C1, taking them common from C1. 1, 1 and 1 we are getting in C1 now. Applying R2 changes to R2 minus R1. There is a change in R2, so R1 and R3 will be as it is, and R2 minus R1 we will get 0. Beta square minus alpha square, here alpha, gamma plus alpha minus beta minus gamma. So this gamma and minus gamma will be cancelled, and here we can apply the property beta minus alpha, beta plus alpha, and here minus common and beta minus alpha, so that we can take beta minus alpha common from second row. Then we will left with beta plus alpha and minus 1 here. Then R3 changes to R3 minus R1. Again same operation, 1 minus 1, it will be 0. Gamma square minus alpha square will be the identity, gamma minus alpha and gamma plus alpha. And here beta minus beta will be cancelled, alpha minus gamma, so we'll take minus common and gamma minus alpha. Now we can take gamma minus alpha common from R3. So it will be alpha plus gamma, beta minus alpha and gamma minus alpha. And now we are getting two zeros in column 1, so we can expand along column 1. After expanding, these two terms will be 0 and this will only left, so we will multiply this into this minus this into this, and after simplification we will get this thing which is equal to right hand side, and it is proved. Now solve the system of following equations. If you remember in class 10th, there was one exercise in chapter number 3, pair of linear equations, where we had equations reducible to linear. So this is same like that. System of equation is this. All the equations are given. Now what we have to do, first of all we have to reduce to linear equation. So let 1 by x equal to u, 1 by y equal to v, and 1 by z equal to w. This is the main thing that we have to take care of. Now the system will become 2u plus 3v plus 10w, because it was 2 by x, so when we are assuming 1 by x equal to u, so it will be 2u plus 3v plus 10z, 10w is equal to 4. And second one will be 4u minus 6v plus 5w equal to 1, and 6u plus 9v minus 20w equal to 2. Now the same process we have to follow for finding the inverse, and then we have to find out this matrix X basically. Ax equal to b, A is the matrix of all the coefficients of variables, X all the variables involved. Now u, v and w will solve first of all for u, v and w, and then we'll find out the values of x, y and z. B is this matrix of all the constants 4, 1 and 2. Three matrices are ready. Now determinant A first of all to check which type of system. So this is consistent and it will have a unique solution. Then inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant A into adjoint A. Then we will calculate adjoint. For adjoint we will calculate minors and then all the cofactors, and this is adjoint ready. Then A inverse 1 upon determinant A, that was 1200, and this is adjoint A. X is equal to A inverse B. A inverse is this 1 upon 1200. 1200 you keep it as it is outside. First of all multiply these two matrices and then we can take this 1200 inside and we are getting 1 by 2, 1 by 3 and 1 by 5. But these are the values of u, v and w. This is not matrix x which we wanted in the question. So u is 1 by 2, v is 1 by 3 and w is 1 by 5. Then again u was 1 by x, that's what we assumed. So 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by x because u is 1 by 2. So x is equal to 2. Same way y equal to 3 and same way z is equal to 5. So x 2, y 3 and z 5. This is the answer. Now question number 17, choose the correct answer. If A, B, C are in AP, then the determinant this is equal to what? So since A, B, C are in AP, it means if you remember the common difference will be equal, means B minus A will be equal to C minus B. So from here we get to be equal to A plus C. Now this is the given determinant. Applying R1 changes to R1 plus R3 minus 2R2. We are applying this operation. R1 means x plus 2 plus R3 means x plus 4 minus 2R2, double of R2, 2 into x plus 3. Same way here and same way here. After opening and solving here we will get 0 0 and here 2 into A plus C minus 2B. Then here 2b equal to a plus c. So in the last step here we got a plus c. In place of a plus c we can write down as 2b. So 2b minus 2b will also be 0. When all the elements of any row or column become 0, it means the determinant is also 0. Hence the value of determinant is 0 and the correct answer is option A. Question number 19, choose the correct answer. Matrix A is given and we have to find first of all determinant of A and then we have to check which one is the correct option. So determinant A we will calculate. We will expand along any row or column. Here we have expanded along first row. So we'll expand and this is the answer. Now determinant A is equal to 2 into 1 plus sine square theta. We know that this thing is the value of sine theta. We know sine theta value lies from minus 1 to 1. The value of sine theta can be from minus 1 to 1. So now let's suppose sine theta is equal to minus 1, sine theta equal to 1 or sine theta equal to 0. When we'll do the squaring, sine square theta equal to 1, sine square theta equal to 1 and sine square theta equal to 0. Because in the determinant we have sine square theta. Now value of sine square theta can be from 0 to 1, negative is not possible. Now putting sine square theta equal to 0 in determinant A and sine square theta equal to 1 in determinant A. So it is 1 plus, it was sine square theta, so now it is 0. So it is 2 into 1 plus 0, 2. And here 1 plus 1, 2 into 2, 4. So the minimum value of determinant A is 2 and the maximum value of determinant A is 4. So we can say that the value of determinant A lies from 2 to 4, or in other words in the interval form if you want to write down we can write this way. Determinant A belongs to this closed interval 2 and 4. Closed interval, I hope you all must be knowing the meaning of closed interval. You did very well in class 11th. Closed interval means 2 and 4 both are included because determinant A may be equal to 2, greater than 2 or maybe less than 4 or equal to 4. So determinant A belongs to closed interval 2 to 4. So hence D is the correct option. I hope you must have understood. Now you can try all the question of miscellaneous exercise and kindly complete this chapter. Thank you students.